My adoptive sister gave me a surprise on my 18th birthday so she could take over my life, but all her plans were ruined. I was 12 the day my parents sat me down in the living room. They were glowing in a way I hadn't seen in years. My mother's voice was shaking when she said, "You're going to be a big sister." I blinked. They had always wanted more kids, but after mom's illness when I was 7, the one that led to her ovaries being removed, it became the one dream they quietly grieved. I didn't really get it at the time, but I saw the devastation in them. They poured everything into me, loved me, spoiled me, but I always sensed something was missing. So when they told me we were adopting, I was ecstatic. I imagined slumber parties, secrets, someone who'd finally get what it felt like to live in our weird little bubble of a family. I didn't know it then, but that moment was the beginning of the end. A week later, they brought her home, Layla. She was 10, full of energy, with thick curls and warm brown skin. I thought she was pretty. She ran up to me and hugged me so hard I nearly fell backward. "You're gonna be my big sister forever," she said, and I believed her. The first week was bliss. We played dress up, stayed up whispering stories at night. I thought I had finally gotten the sister I always dreamed of, but little things started happening. She would accidentally knock over vases or spill food, and when our parents asked, she'd say I was being careless. Once she said I yelled at her and called her names. I hadn't said anything. At first, my parents were confused, but Layla was a master manipulator. Her voice quivered just enough. Her eyes welled up at the right moments. Slowly, the trust I had built with my parents started cracking. And then came the lemonade stand. When I was 15, Layla suggested we set up a stand to make a little money. I was happy she wanted to do something together. While I ran inside to get more cups, she tripped and scraped her elbow. By the time I got back, she was crying and shouting, telling our neighbors I had shoved her because I was angry again. My parents heard the commotion and went outside. "You don't lay your hands on your sister," Dad yelled. Mom said, "You've been difficult from the beginning," and accused me of being jealous of Layla because she doesn't have a cleft lip like me. My heart dropped. I had gone through surgeries, therapy, bullying, and now my own mother was using it against me. They grounded me for a month, took everything away, treated me like I was dangerous. While I see them having fun with Layla in the living room and hearing their laughter, I also hear my mother call her my beautiful daughter. She never once said that to me. By the time I turned 16, I was invisible. Layla was the golden child. I had become the broken one. Then came Amira. Layla told my parents she had discovered her biological sister was still in foster care. Her name was Amira. At first, I thought of not getting close to her because she might be just another Layla, but she proved me wrong when she once fought back to Layla for me. She and I got close. I let myself believe that maybe, just maybe, I finally had someone who saw me. But peace doesn't last. Amira started to ignore me. On my 18th birthday, my parents threw a surprise party for me. My parents said that Layla was the one to organize the party, inviting my classmates and few friends. Parents said she wants to leave it all behind and forgive me. I rolled my eyes in my mind, but I told myself to endure 1 to 2 hours of it. My friend and I were chatting when Layla turned off the music. A video began playing on the TV. It was me, my face, my voice, saying vile racist things, screaming about how they weren't white and how I'd never accept them as family. It wasn't me, but no one believed me. My mom was sobbing. Dad told everyone to leave. He wouldn't even look me in the eye. Layla and Amira were crying and my head was spinning. They kicked me out that night. I was a mess, and I don't know where to go. My parents aren't legally responsible for me since I just became 18. Some nights I crashed on benches in 24-hour diners. I got a job at a thrift store after lying about having graduated already. The manager didn't care. He just needed someone who wouldn't steal. I worked 6 days a week, cleaned toilets on Sundays at a church, and saved every penny. I lived in a room the size of a closet, in a shared house with 5 strangers. A week later, I returned to pack my things. My parents were at work. I had my phone propped up, recording my room for the last time. That's when I caught them. Layla and Amira didn't know I was filming. They were laughing, boasting, talking about how they used AI to fake the video, how easy it was to replicate my voice, and how stupid I looked. She never stood a chance. Layla snorted. She was always mom's regret. My hands were shaking so hard I nearly dropped the phone, but I held it together, grabbed my things, and left. I moved to Oregon to stay with a distant cousin who barely knew me but took me in. Then I sent the video to my parents. My phone nearly exploded with calls and messages. Voicemails of my mom sobbing, my dad screaming, both begging me to come home. Layla sent me one message: "You're ruining everything. You don't get to come back and pretend you're the victim." Amira messaged too, not an apology. She said that this was her only chance of having a family, and I should not ruin it for her. Then came the letter, a handwritten one, forwarded to my new address by an old neighbor. It said mom had a heart attack, that she was recovering, that she wanted me home, that she was leaving everything to me. Full story on channel link below.